Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host, Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Hey everybody, how we doing today? Welcome to another edition of the Lead Pedal Podcast. This is episode number 1186. Welcome to March and welcome to What's New. Man, we got a lot of stuff happening. This month is Women's History in Trucking Month in the U.S., but I thought we'll also celebrate some of that here in Canada, so we'll be showcasing a lot of women here. And before we get into what we're going to be doing, some of the changes and stuff for this month, let me tell you about RIMS Transport. As you know, RIMS Transport's a flatbed company based out of Hamilton, Ontario. They've got three divisions. They've got a flatbed division, an end dump division, and a bulk tanker division. And it's an owner-operator only fleet, looking for owner-operators that want to run 500 miles outside of Hamilton, Ontario, crossing the border. They got a heavy equipment, which is 5-leggers. They've also got tandem division, and they've got local division. So if you want to check this out, pretty good money there. They do all right, and they've got a good culture there, which is something important. So if you're an owner-operator and you're looking to be successful for 2024, that is the place to go. Go check them out and tell them we sent you. All right, you go to rimstransport.com. We've got a lot of stuff going on. This month, there's not a ton of changes going on. Lead Pedal Radio, we had a whole bunch of changes last month, but we got a big celebrate to our fan club member, Brett Akey with Chrome Supply Warehouse. He won as the featured truck for 2023. So he's that beautiful cab over he built that took him, I don't know, 10 years. He finally brought it out in 2023, and he's been winning all the contests. And he certainly won ours too. So we will be doing, I'm not going to say what he's getting because it's in hush hush. But anyway, we will be doing we'll be presenting that with him down at his Chrome shop in the near future. I'm just waiting for a couple of the items to finish coming in. So we'll be doing that. And then all the people that voted for our featured truck of the year will be put into a draw, which we will be drawing probably in March as well, probably when we do go to Chrome Supply Warehouse. So that will be our draw for the fan club members. So that's why it's a benefit to be a fan club member, because you can get in there and do that stuff. But we got lots of stuff happening. We've been covering a ton of events. As I mentioned, we're going to be focusing March on a lot of the women in trucking, but also the culture of trucking. A lot of people, we talk about culture, but people don't always know what culture means. What do we mean when we say culture? Like, what does that mean? I just said it about RIMS. They got a good culture. What does that mean? It means that they treat people the way you want to be treated, and that's what we're going to be talking about in a lot of this. We've just finished our first event. TTSAO, Truck Training School Association of Ontario, had their first annual conference on a leap year. That was pretty impressive. So we are looking forward to doing that. And then, of course, the Trucking Network's having their job fair this weekend at the time that we're taping, and it's their first one of the year. So the events are starting to roll out. In March, there's I don't think there's much in March. Well, there's actually the Fleet Safety Council is having their annual spring seminar. That'll be happening in March. And then in April, Truck World is cruising up. May 1st, we got Trans Rep event. I'll be telling you all about all these events later on in the show, but we got lots coming up, and it's just things are going to go up. We were just at a Hamilton Transportation Club event the other night. It was actually nice to see some people in the industry. Felt like I hadn't seen them forever, because I think our last event was early December. So it's been a while. So it's good to see people getting out and doing what they're doing. And as far as guests go, we don't have our full lineup yet for March. We have a lot in, but we've got a couple events at the time we're taping that are coming up. So I'm waiting to see who we get on the floor for the Trucking Network. So we're going to wait and see. So I won't reveal any of our guests right now, other than I can tell you what's coming up here next week. We got the Shermanator. We were over at Bison. We're at their facility in Mississauga, and there's a recruiter there called the Shermanator. Erin, she's a sweet girl, and she's like, when we talk about culture, this is the culture. She treats them like she's your kids when she brings somebody on. So we'll be talking to her about her process and what all of that means, and meeting her for sure. And then we're going to be talking about what it's like to start. And we've got our featured trucks back. So, hey, if you send in your featured truck, if you want to be featured for one of our Friday featured trucks, send it in and let us know where you want to. You can send it in by email. Go to litpedalpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us a few pictures, different sides of the truck, inside the truck, whatever. Give us the backstory on the truck. Make sure we've got a name of whose truck it is. We need year. If you can provide us engine, all the details on the truck would be extremely, extremely great. So so that's about all we've got for changes. We've been focusing, you probably noticed that we focused our months. So January was all about goal setting and careers. February's been all about business. Pretty well almost all the episodes have been about owner-operators or how to be one. And March, we're going to get into the culture of trucking here in Canada and the culture other places, because I think that's going to be a strong culture. And of course, we're going to feature a lot of great women in the industry as well. So that's where we are right now. So while we get into events, because this is going to be a short one today because we don't have a whole lot of changes. When we get into events, I'll get in right after this, actually. Stay tuned with us and we'll be right back.
Okay, people, let's begin.
All right, let me tell you about Rosedale Transport before we go too far. Rosedale is a carrier. They got locations all across Canada and the U.S., 800 employees. They've been around for 50 years, and they have everything from local to long haul to owner-operator. So Rosedale's been a great carrier. Their culture is pretty amazing, and we'll be talking about them probably in the near future, because they usually do their truck inspection blitz. They'll have that coming up pretty soon. So anyway, let's just talk about some of the events coming up. That's what I want to talk about. I had another thing I wanted to talk about before we got to that, and just to recap some of our business stuff. Before we get to the events, let's recap some of our business stuff. Here's a couple things that came across that we did talk about in our business thing. One was from Mike McCarron, his thing about the gig economy. And I really had a lot of issues with the gig economy, because it's almost like every group feels that they're special and nobody else, like they're the only ones that do waiting time. Yeah, we've never done that in trucking. So he talked about it. I liked his article, but basically he's saying a lot of companies are starting to rethink how the industry is going to go, and we're going to talk about that and find out what that means for a lot of people in the industry. The other thing that's was a concern that kind of came up, and we didn't really talk about it. We talked about independent owner-operators and stuff last year, but as far as the independent status is something that's really going to have a problem. And I'm going to see if I can play this a little bit for you. This was that movie, that show, The Real Mike Rowe, where he does all the different jobs and stuff. He's talking about the PRO Act, and it's if it passes, 70 million independent contractors across the country will lose their independent status. Let me see if I can play a little bit of this for you, so you can hear what it has to say.
People who are impacted by this.
My wife got a really bad case of bronchitis. If I'm an employee driver and I decide I'm going to stay home for a week and take care of my wife, my employer's going to say, Tom, I can't leave that truck sitting still for a week. They'll probably fire me. As an independent contractor, I can just tell dispatch, I'm going to be gone for a week. I'll let you know when I'm ready to go again.
That's the flexibility we talked about before. An advantage is in every state if it gets caught up in the slipstream of the PRO Act.
It's the cookie cutter advice that's killing us. The idea that the best way to work involves an employer, a 40-hour work week, a union, perhaps. And I always loved the freelancing option.
This is not happening in the third world. This is happening right here.
These people need to understand that the rug is about to be yanked out from under them.
More than 70 million Americans work as independent contractors. If the PRO Act becomes federal law, everything you love about independent status ceases to exist. There are real people who are impacted by this.
My wife got a really bad case of bronchitis. If I'm an employee driver and I decide I'm going to stay home for a week and take care of my wife, my employer's going to say, Tom, I can't leave that truck sitting still for a week. They'll probably fire me as an independent.
There you go. So that's the kind of that's a YouTube video that was on the Real Mike Rowe. They was talking to drivers and stuff about the PRO Act, and this PRO Act is coming out of California, and it's going to affect a lot of people. I know we've been talking about it here in Canada, and some of them are not everybody's made to be an employee, not everybody's made to be an employer, and so. They're saying that that it'll override state right to work laws, threaten independent contractor jobs, expand joint employer liability, undermine secret ballot elections, disclose workers' personal information, prohibit mandatory arbitration agreements, and allow secondary picking and strike. Now, I don't know all about that. I am not going to get into a union or political thing on this show. I just wanted to let you know that the PRO Act is there. People are talking about it. California started last year when they were evaluating owner-operators. We're still looking at that this year. And I just wanted to play that little clip for you. So that's where we were. So, yeah. So, and if I didn't tell you about Rosedale Group, I know I told you about Rosedale Group. I don't think I told you the website. Go to rosedalegroup.com. That's where you should go. Man, that was a bad commercial. I'll have to redo that for them again. Anyway, that's where, Rosedale is a really good group. We talked about them just before I played that clip. Sorry, I was kind of winging it there for a minute, and that's what happens when you wing it. You sometimes wing out. All right. Okay. So now let's get ready for events, shall we? Here we go.
By far my favorite station.
You're the best. Oh yeah, I love you guys.
That's what happens when I was going somewhere else. I saw something and I had to back up. You guys know how this is. You wouldn't expect it any other way. That's what makes my show fresh. The mistakes. You know it. You know what I'm talking is right. You go. Just go ahead. Agree. There you go. I know there's a lot of you shaking your head right now. Some of you in the other way. That's okay too. That's okay too. Let me bring you up to events and what's going on, man. I like to have fun on this show. If you don't like to laugh, you're on the wrong show. Hamilton Transportation Club just had their event. So does the TTSAO. So the next one here, the time we're taping, the Trucking Network Mega Job Fair, which is actually a green technology conference at the same time. I'm interested to see how this works. It's the first time I've been to one where they've kind of twinned it with a conference. So I'm not sure what to expect tomorrow, but I will certainly tell you. You'll see a recap on it. That's at the Pearson Convention Center in Brampton. You can go to the truckingnetworkevents.ca. Women with Drive event on March 7th in Toronto, Ontario. It's always a good event. I think it's sold out, truckinghr.com. The Mid-America Truck Show, March 21st, 23rd in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm sure all of you in the U.S. are going to be there. Unfortunately, we're not making it this year, but really want to, and so I'd like to wish everybody a good show down there for sure. Hamilton Niagara Fleet Safety Council is having their spring seminar on March 28th, 2024 at thefleetsafetycouncil.com is where. Now that is sold out. There's a wait list for that. That sells out every year now. You guys got to get on that really quick. So they're in Burlington, Ontario at the Holiday Inn. Truck World, April 18th to 20th in Toronto, Ontario. Of course, that's the big one for us. Trucknews.com. It's kind of like it's like a mini Mats without the outside show, which they should actually incorporate and do that. That would be kind of cool. But it's a 3-day show to get around Truck World anyway. So we will be there. We're not going to have a booth this year, so you're going to have to watch us roaming the floor, but we will be at some of our sponsors' booth for sure. National Recruiting and Retention Symposiums on May 1st, May 2nd in Burlington, Ontario at the Holiday Inn. Transrep.ca. This is, if you're a recruiter, you need to be at this show. This is an amazing show, the National Recruiting and Retention Symposium. Go to transrep.ca. We will certainly be there and looking forward to it as well. Hamilton Transportation Club is having their spring address. It's going to be somewhere in that May 2nd area. We haven't nailed down the date yet. I'm on the board there, but it'll be at the Waterfront Banquet Center in Hamilton, Ontario at Hamilton Transportation Club. HamiltonTransportationClub.com is where you can learn more about that. Large Cars and Guitars Truck Show, May 9th to 11th, 2024. That's Tony Justice's show, Kodak, Tennessee. LargeCarsGuitars.com. I just love that. I love that's just a really good name for a show. International Road Check is supposed to be May 16th to 18th this year. You can learn more about that and what they're going to target at cvsa.org. And the Woodstock Truck Show, this is going to be a big one, folks. May 24th, 25th, Woodstock, Ontario, WoodstockTruckShow.ca, featuring the Roadhammers. We're going to be up there on the Friday. The Roadhammers are playing Friday night, so looking forward to seeing their show for sure. I'm a big Roadhammers fan. There's a Brampton's having their truck driver skill competition on May 25th. It used to be called the Powerade Center. I don't know what it's called now. This is put on by Contrans, and a lot of them. It's going to be skills for drivers. So we're going to be at the Woodstock show on the 24th and the skill competition on the 25th. That's how we've done this. The PMTC Spring Golf Tournament, May 28th, 2024. Go to pmtc.ca. Antiques Truck Show is having something, usually they're like June 1st or 3rd. Not sure, somewhere in that area. CITT conference is going to be June 5th, 7th in Halifax, Nova Scotia. CITT.ca. River City Truck Show, June 14th to 15th, 2024, Grand Valley, Ontario. We're hoping to be up at this one. You can check out their Facebook page at River City Truck Show for sure. PMTC Annual Conference, Niagara Falls, Ontario, June 18th to 20th, 2024. PMTC.ca. We will be there. We are a silver sponsor and also going to be attending and covering the conference for you, so it's going to be good there for sure. Clifford Truck Show, June 28th to 30th. That's always on the Canadian Day holiday weekend. Go to GreatLakesTruckClub.com. That's a big show. Looking forward to that one again. Burlington Car Show. It's actually, I'm not sure if it's still called the Burlington Car Show. It's usually July 6th. I have not seen anything on that yet, so I'm not sure if they're still having it or what the deal is. Another group is taking that over now. The 519 Loud and Proud Show has been canceled, folks. That was a really good one in Mono, Ontario, put on by J&J. Unfortunately, they won't be having this show. You'll see them at other shows. Unfortunate, but yeah, there's a lot of shows pop up, and they find out it's a lot to run a show, man. It's not an easy go. Hamilton Transportation Club will be having their Penske barbecue in July in Hamilton, Ontario. Walcott Truckers Jamboree will be having their show in Walcott, Iowa, July 11th to 13th. We were hoping to get there last year. We didn't make it, so don't think we're going to make it this year. July 11th, ISB Me Biz and Breakfast in Milton, Ontario. I think they're having it in Milton, Ontario, or else maybe they're having it here in Lion's Head. I'm not sure. Anyway, go to isbglobalservices.com and check that out. I was talking to Wendy the other day, and for some reason, I thought they were changing location. Great Canadian Truck Show in Grand Bend, Ontario, July 26th to 27th. Unfortunately, we won't be able to make it this year. Really want to, but we've already booked with something else that time. Sorry, I had to cough. Anyway, go to Great Canadian Truck Show on their Facebook page. You can learn more about that. That's at the Grand Bend Motorplex. Pretty good show. Rodeo de Camion, August 1st to 4th, 2024. Go to lrodeo.com. Grey County's not having I'm not sure if Grey County's having their truck show this year. Didn't see it. St. Thomas Big Rigs Nationals, of course, that's August 16th to 17th. We will be there for that one. So that's St. Thomas Dragways. That's probably one of our best favorite shows throughout the year. Athens Truck Show, we haven't seen a date yet, but that was near the end of August last year. Truck Driver Appreciation Week is on September 2nd to 7th. Seaforth Truck Show in Seaforth, Ontario is usually around the 10th. Truck Driver Appreciation Week in the United States, September 9th to 16th. Special Olympics Ontario Truck Ride, September 13th to 14th, 2024 in Paris, Ontario. Go to truckride.ca. We'll be at that one for sure. Bridging the Barrier event, Mississauga, Ontario, September 17th. We will be at that one for sure. And then the Trucking Network is having another mega job fair, September 21st, 24th, Pearson Convention Center, the Trucking Network events.ca. Appleby Street Fest, that's here in Burlington, September 22nd. PMTC is supposed to be having their golf tournament. We haven't seen a date yet. 10-4 DC, their truck display in National Monument, Fredericksburg, Virginia. No date yet. Industry Review. This is by the Hamilton Transportation Club. It'll be their fall address. You can go to hamiltontransportationclub.com. Driver Check Fitness for Duty Summit, October 22nd, 23rd in Calgary, Alberta. This live event this year. Go to drivercheck.ca. We're still waiting on the Fleet Safety Council. We're still waiting on TCA. Those are events that usually happen in October. So anyway, go to our post for this episode, and you can find out all the events that went on. You can see it right in the show notes. Okay, so there you go. That's it, my friends. That is all we've got. Thanks for listening. Make sure you follow us. We're on socials. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, X, and all the rest. X and all the rest. So you can find us there. And let me tell you about RS2000 before we go. They're a tax company that helps owner-operators, fleets, drivers, whatever. Well-known in Ontario here and licensed all throughout. They have different accountants working with them that come to you, and you don't have to come to them. So check them out at rs2000tax.com, and we'll catch you later, my friends. Now.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com, and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.